Hello everyone, this is Dr. Surya. So today we are going to see about the topic buoyancy, some problems on that particular topic buoyancy. So what is this buoyancy force? So what happens is when a body is immersed in the fluid, automatically some of the water will put outside some of the water, and an upward force will be exerted by the fluid on that particular body. Supposing if your water is there and I am immersing one ball on it, so what happens is this will be due to gravity. The ball goes down and certain upward force will act on that ball and it will make the ball to come up. So this upward force will be equal to the weight of the fluid that is displaced by the body, and this is called the force of buoyancy. Okay, so this buoyancy force is the force on an object that is exerted by the surrounding fluid. So when an object is pushing some water, the water pushes back with as much as force as it can. So suppose a person is drowning in water, suppose a person fell into the water, what happens? Immediately he will not drown. So what happens is the water will push them some 2 or 3 times with as much force as it can. That force is called as buoyant force. So if the water can push back as hard, then the object can float, and if it cannot push back that much, it can sink. Okay, so this buoyant force, it will be caused by the difference between the pressure at the top of the object, that is my gravitational force. So because of this gravitational force only, the object will be moving downward, and the pressure at the bottom, that is called as buoyant force, which is pushes it outward. In simple, I can say due to gravitational force the body will be coming down, and due to buoyant force the body will tends to push up. So this is called as my gravity force. So because of this gravity force the ball will go down, and because of the buoyant force, that is some upward force that will push it out, and that is called as your buoyant force. In simple, I can say that buoyancy will be equal to the floating force. So I can say buoyancy is a floating force. So if suppose water is heavier than that object, the object will float, and if the object is having very low density, then also it will float, and this buoyant force will be measured in newtons. And also I can say that buoyant force will be equal to the weight of the displaced fluid. So how much is the weight of the displaced fluid? That is my buoyant force. Or in simple, I can call as buoyant force will be equal to the weight of object in air minus weight of object in water. So if we subtract between weight of object in air minus weight of object in water, that also gives my buoyant force. And we are having 3 different types of buoyancy. One is your positive buoyancy. So positive buoyancy is something like that: if buoyant force is greater than the weight, then the object will be floating. So if the object is floating, then that is called as positive buoyancy. Negative buoyancy is something like that: buoyant force will be equal to the weight, so that the object is suspended in the fluids. That is called as neutral buoyancy. And negative buoyancy is buoyant force is less than the weight, so that the object will be sinking. So if it is greater, it is called as positive if buoyant force is greater than the weight of the object, then it is called as positive buoyancy. If it is equal, then it is neutral buoyancy, and if the buoyant force is less, then that is called as my negative buoyancy. Okay, and you may ask, why does a ship is floating, even a small needle is getting down into it? So this may be the doubt you can ask. Ship is such a huge body and it is floating, and why do that small stone or small iron nail, when you put in water, it is sinking? So you have a reason for it. I can tell you that if the things is floating, means they are having the less dense than the fluid they are in. So if an object is it is having lesser density than the fluid above which it is placed, then during that time the object will float. And other thing that if the things float, if they are weighing less than the buoyant force which is pushing up on them, then also the things will float. And things will also float if they are shaped so that the weight is spread out. So that's why if you see, the ship will be like this, some different shapes, that is the weight will be, so this will be the buoyant force which is acting on the ship, okay, which means they are shaped in such a way that the weight is spread out. So this is the reason why the ship is getting floated. And I can tell that the object will float when it has low mass, low density. So if that is the case, the object will float. And if the, according to the shape also plays a major role here actually. So if the weight is getting spreaded out, then automatically your object will be floating, okay. So the point through which the force of buoyancy is supposed to act is known as the center of buoyancy. We call that as center of buoyancy. Now we move on to the problem. Okay, the problem is that find the volume of the water that is displaced and position of center of buoyancy for a wooden block of width 2.5 centimeter and depth 1.5 centimeter when it floats horizontally in water, and the density of wooden block is 650 kg per meter cube and its length is 6 meter. So if the problem is given like that, we have to draw the diagram. So I have drawn a wooden block and they have told that the wooden block is floating horizontally in water. So I am making the wooden block to float, and they have told that the width of the wooden block is 2.5 centimeter and the height of the wooden block is 1.5 meter. So let this be h. So how much distance it is getting hidden in the water, we keep it as h. And they have told the length is going to be 6 meter. So width is 2.5, depth is 1.5 and the length is going to be 6 meter. So if this is the case, I can easily find out my volume. So volume of the block. So volume is nothing but width into depth into length, which is 2.5 into 1.5 into 6, which is equal to 22.5 meter cube. Okay, now what I have to determine? I have to determine the how much volume of water is getting displaced. Okay, how much volume of water is getting displaced. So how can I find that? Okay, so the first thing is they have asked me to determine the volume of water displaced. So if I am putting something in water, certain amount of water will get displaced because of that object. So I have to determine how much water has been displaced. It is very simple. So it is equal to weight of water displaced divided by weight density of water. Okay, so weight density of water is very simple, which is nothing but rho into g. Okay, so weight density of water is rho g is equal to rho g. So I have to determine the value of weight of water displaced. So if I am determining this weight of water displaced, then easily I can determine the volume of water displaced. So how can I determine the weight of water displaced? So it is very simple. So how much weight the wooden block is inside, the same amount of weight of water will get displaced. So I can write it as, for equilibrium, weight of water displaced will be equal to weight of wooden block. So for this I have to get the weight of the wooden block. So how do I get the weight of the wooden block? This we know the formula already. So weight of wooden block is equal to rho g into volume. So this formula we have studied earlier. So rho g into volume. Only using this formula only I have also written the volume of water displaced. So volume is equal to weight of wooden block divided by rho g. Here it becomes weight of water displaced divided by weight density of waters. So weight of wooden block is equal to rho g into volume. So the density of wooden block is given as 650 in the problem. So I am writing 650. Gravity is 9.81 and we have determined the volume of the block to be 22.5. So the weight of block is nothing but 143,471 Newton. Okay. So if this is the weight of wooden block, then weight of water displaced will be also equal to the same value. So weight of water displaced will be equal to 143,471 Newton. So both are same. Now I can easily get the value of volume of water displaced. So volume of water displaced will be equal to weight of water displaced by weight density. By weight density. So weight of water displaced is 143,471 divided by weight density is 1000 into 9.81. So which is equal to 14.625 meter cube. Since because it is volume, I have to write it as in meter cube. So 14.625 meter cube. Okay. Next what I am going to find is where is this position of center of buoyancy lies down. So that is also an important concept we have to take into account. So I am determining that which is position of center of buoyancy. So which is equal to, I can write this, how can I determine this? It's a very simple concept. Okay. So this how I am determining is, it's very simple. So how much volume of wooden block is in water? Volume of wooden block in water is equal to volume of water displaced. Okay. So volume of wooden block in water is equal to volume of water displaced. So volume of wooden block is, it's very we are going to see that, which is nothing but if you take in this problem, so 2.5 into 6 is the length and only the depth, it is in water, the height of the wooden block is going to be h. So h is the depth of the wooden block in water. So I have to take that into account. So I can write it as 2.5 into h into 6 will be equal to volume of water displaced. So we have determined this earlier as 14.625 meter cube. So my h will be equal to 14.625 divided by 2.5 into 6. Okay. So my h value will be equal to 0.975 meter. Okay. And the position of center of buoyancy will be, center of buoyancy is equal to 0.975 by 2. Generally we used to take like this. So 0.975 by 2, which is 0.4875 meter from base. So this is my answer. The next problem what we are going to see is, a stone weighs 392.4 Newton in air and 196.2 Newton in water. Compute the volume of stone and its specific gravity. So we have to calculate the volume of stone as well as the specific gravity. So I have told you earlier that buoyant force is equal to weight in air or weight of stone in air. I write it as WR minus weight of stone in water. So both are given here. So which is 392.2 for 392.4 minus 196.2. So which will be equal to 196.2 Newton. So this is going to be my buoyant force. So what is this buoyant force actually? So this buoyant force is nothing but weight of water displaced. So how much of water is getting displaced when we put a stone in water? So buoyant force will be equal to weight of water displaced. What is this weight of water displaced? Again, this is simple, so we know it, rho g into volume. That is rho g into volume of water displaced. Okay, so this weight of water displaced, we know the value is 196.2 and rho value is 1000, gravity value is 9.81. So I am going to get the volume of water displaced, and this volume of water displaced will be equal to the volume of stone. Okay, so now volume will be equal to, or volume of water displaced is equal to 196.2 divided by 1000 into 9.81. So which is equal to 1 by 50 meter cube. So my volume of stone is equal to 1 by 50 meter cube, or when I convert it into centimeter, it becomes 2 into 10 power 4 centimeter cube. So this is the answer for the volume of stone. Then they have asked us to determine the specific gravity of stone. Specific gravities of stone. So the specific gravity, generally we used to write in previous video, if you have seen. So specific gravity is equal to density of liquid by density of water. This is what we have written. But here, instead of writing as rho liquid by rho water, I am writing it as rho stone by rho water. That is density of stone divided by density of water. Density of water is known to me. I have to get the value for density of stone. So density of stone is equal to, the formula for density is mass by volume. So mass by volume. So already we have determined the mass of stone in air divided by volume of stone. Volume of stone we have determined earlier. So we have to get the value for mass. This is also very simple, that weight in air, weight of stone in air is equal to mg. That is mass into gravity. So my mass will be equal to weight in air by gravity. So it is going to be very simple. I am going to use this formula. So first I will get the value of mass. Mass is equal to weight in air by gravity. Weight in air is given in the formula as 392.4. Gravity is 9.81. So which is equal to 40 kg. Next, I will be getting the value of rho stone. Rho stone is nothing but mass by volume. Mass is 40 and volume I have found out to be 1 by 50 meter cube. So beware that, don't use centimeter cube, use meter cube. Wherever it is possible, use meter cube. So which is equal to 40 into 50. This will come upside, which becomes 2000 kg per meter cube. Now it is very easier for me to calculate the specific gravity. Specific gravity is equal to rho stone. Rho stone is 2000 divided by density is 1000. So it becomes, all the zeros will get cancelled. So my specific gravity is equal to 2. Specific gravity does not have any unit, because both are density. So the unit will get cancelled. I would like to give a small introduction about this concept metacenter. So metacenter is defined as the point about which a body starts oscillating when the body is tilted by a small angle. So it is the point at which the line of action of force of buoyancy will meet the normal axis of the body when the body is given a small angular displacement. This is called metacenter. I'll explain you a little bit detailed. Imagine that this box is a ship. Okay, so first it is floating in a sea. Imagine this box is a ship and it is floating in a sea, and this will be its center of gravity G, and this point will be the buoyant force, and this point is going to be the metacenter M. So this is imagine a ship is floating and it goes as smooth as that. Suppose if the wind is more, or waves are tending, as the waves are getting in a higher the high tides, due to high tides the waves are more and wind is more, or the ship wants to turn to one direction, what will happen? So automatically a small angular displacement will be given to the ship. It cannot move on a straight point. Some angular displacement will be given. So when a body is floating in a liquid and a small angular displacement, what will happen is it will start oscillate at one point. So when it is turning or something, it will be starting oscillating at one point, and that point is called metacenter. So this is going to be my metacenter. So this concept is very simple. So when body is is floating in a liquid, and supposing if due to some reason a small angular displacement happens, then it will start oscillate about one point, and that point is called as metacenter. I hope you understand the point. So at that point the center of gravity will remain same, and this will be my buoyant force. Since because the body has started rotate, or it has started oscillator, this point is going to be metacenter and this point is going to be buoyancy. So this is about and another one thing is called, you have a metacentric height. So this metacentric height is it's very easy. It's a distance between the center of gravity of the floating body and the metacenter. So this is metacentric height. So this height we call it as metacentric height. Here this height we call it as metacentric height. So that is the distance between the center of gravity of the floating body and the metacenter is called as metacentric height. Thank you. Happy learning.